Hey guys, how are you doing today? So today I have got a new video and it was a request on one of my previous videos to go through like what I was watching on Netflix, because I think in that video I mentioned that I was going to be watching Netflix later. So I have went through, I didn't know how to Google that you can see what everything you have watched on Netflix, and I opened that Netflix account apparently back in 2016, although I used Netflix at uni because I watched Orange is the New Black like first few series when I was at uni. Orange is the New Black is like my top pick. Everyone's probably heard of it. Unfortunately it's now finished, but obviously it's a Netflix original, so everything is on there for you to watch. I can't remember how many series there are, but there's quite a few, and you know, as it's like an American TV show, there's quite a lot of seasons to the show. Yeah, for me, it's a classic of Netflix. I think it was like one of the, not original because Netflix has been going a long time, but it's something that was very popular back in the day. It finished about 2 years ago now. I think it finished like 2019, the last series, but definitely if you have not watched it, watch it. It's about a women's prison. It's based on a real story, based on and the who wrote a book about it, I believe, who was very heavily involved in the actual TV show, because at the end you can see she was there and stuff, but it follows her, which is Piper, through her journey of her period of time in prison and the different relationships that are built, all different kinds of stuff. It goes through a lot of different issues. It's a very women focused, very highly women focused, because it's about a woman in a prison, and a woman's prison. So yeah, very recommend Orange is the New Black. Next show is Good Girls, which hasn't finished, but there was the last series I think that was available was last year. It's another Netflix original. It follows 3 suburban mums in America around, well, they get involved in like a gang, kind of gang, like a criminal gang, rather than like an organised crime gang, that's what I'm trying to say. And like first they do it off necessity, needing money, and then it evolves into like one of the main characters wanting to be the head honcho in that gang. The third series, or is it the third series, whatever the last series was, I believe that's series 3, was a bit hit or miss. It wasn't great, but the first 2 series are. But I'm hoping, I feel like it was a lot of filler in the third series, hopefully building up for what happens in series 4. I think that is series 4, unless it's going into series 5, I cannot remember. But I believe they were meant to be filming the next series. So a lot of these are stuff that might not be so new. So like we've got Suits, something that I love Suits. It follows a man who got into a law firm but doesn't have a law degree certificate. He's not on the bar. It's all based in New York in America. And it basically, there's like quite a few series, 8 or 9. It is now finished as well. Like I've watched it like 3 times, but I started to watch it with a friend, and I don't know, it just doesn't relate as much now. Quite a bit. It's a drama, so it's not funny, so it's not meant to be funny. All of these were dramas, apart from Orange is the New Black is a drama, but there is funny elements to that, and I suppose there is a bit-ish in Good Girls. Suits, I mean, it's a bit light-hearted drama. Not a lot seemed to happen in the first series when we were watching it, and we'll just stop watching it, even though I do love it. It's got Meghan Markle in it. I haven't watched it in a while, but the first series, it seemed to be they're winning every case, and I can't remember what exactly happens, but it's not really about the cases, it's more about the relationships within the law firm and like the drama around in the law firm. But it does focus on the cases as well. But yeah, I do really like it. I even got to the point where some of the series went on Netflix at one point and bought the DVDs, and also couldn't find the DVDs, so I bought them on Apple on like old iTunes. So I was very heavily invested and I was like binge watching it. So I would probably watch it all again, but not at the moment. Another series I've only watched once, and I did get involved with, but it is very heavy, is Narcos. So it follows a drama about, well, it's a drama based on Pablo Escobar, which was the cocaine drug lord in Colombia. And it follows that. It's probably a dramatised version of what happened, but I don't really know. And it follows up to his death and how that happened. There is another series which follows another drug cartel, but I haven't watched that. I think that's like series 3. I only liked the bit up to where it included Pablo Escobar. It is very heavy in the fact that you have to read English subtitles for most of it, if not all of it. I did spend a lot of time when I used to commute into London watching it on my phone like this and reading it. But yeah, I did really like it. It's something that you have to concentrate to watch on though. Moving on to some more recent things. Tiger King, I don't think I need to tell anyone really what Tiger King is, but that was very big last year at the beginning of the lockdown pandemic back in March. Follows, it's kind of like a documentary, but it does use real people. Does it use real people? No. I'm not sure, I can't remember now. But it follows like the tiger and big cat industry in America, and there's two. I probably don't need it. Probably most people have watched this because it was very big. But yeah, definitely worth a watch if you haven't. All around the tiger industry, and like it follows one half of the industry where they're keeping them for like pleasure, and the other half which is supposedly keeping for rescue purposes. But watch it. Another like staple in Netflix which has just finished its most recent series and I have watched is The Crown. I got into this like last year, just at the end of when the new series came out, so I binge watched all of it up to the new series. I wasn't really interested in it before, but it's very interesting following all around Queen Elizabeth and how she got into the head of state, and then through her time up to, it's about the 80s, Diana is in it at the moment, where they've got up to, and it just follows. It's more a dramatised version because of the actual real story, but it's very heavily based on real events, although it's a bit dramatised because you can never know exactly what people are saying, can you? So yeah, I definitely recommend watching that, even if you're not a royalist. It's just interesting to watch and it tells you a lot about history, although you have to take it with a pinch of salt exactly what happened, but it goes through different big events. Girlboss is another one that I quite like. There is only one series of this and it was quite a while ago, so I don't think there's another one. It's based on the book by, I can't remember her name, but called Girlboss, which is the book by the founder of Nasty Gal, which is sold by Taboohoo now, but it all based around how that started, and it's kind of to the end, it's not, I thought it would be more heavily based on how the actual business opened up, but it's got a lot of like relationship stuff in it as well, so it was a good watch. There's only one series of it, so you can get through it pretty quickly. Moving on to more like light-hearted things, which don't really need like full attention. So Bridgerton, I think that was like literally the most watched thing in Netflix's history, or quickest watch thing or something. So probably don't need to touch on this, but if you, it's kind of a modern day period drama, even though it's a period drama, but like more based at millennials, I suppose. Lots of sex in it, so if you don't want that, although it wasn't that racy really, but yeah, that was quite a good watch. I'm sure everyone's heard of that and watched it. Something I've got into recently, because it was like recommended to me on the front page, was Superstore, and this is such a nice, light-hearted, easy to watch program. There's like 5 series on Netflix and I've got to the last one, and that was based in like 2020, so I think that's when they stopped, when the pandemic was, because I don't think it's quite as long as it should be, that series, but it's just it follows the it's got one main character, Jonah, who you follow his journey through being working at a superstore in America, Cloud9. He's not, I suppose, not really the typical employee at a superstore, and he was kind of made fun of at the beginning for that, because he came from like business school or drop out from business school. But there's a lot of funny relationships. It's an American comedy, so it's not always laugh out loud, but it's just a nice light-hearted thing to watch through lockdown periods. And there's a lot of episodes. They're only for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, so you can get through it quite quickly. I literally watched that since the beginning of February, and I've watched it all now. This one is not a Netflix original, and I don't think Superstore was either, but Back to Life, which follows someone who was recently released from prison. I don't think it might be a true story, but it's not a documentary or anything. It's a drama, who was released from prison, and they killed a child. They were a child themselves, but it was them going back into society. There's only like one series of it. It was okay. It's something to watch. It was alright, to be honest. It's a BBC show as well. Something else I watched, I think it's a Netflix original. I think it is. The Good Place. This was okay. I watched this again at the beginning of the original lockdown as well. It does get very samey and a bit overkill. Like sometimes I was like, oh, I have to watch this just to watch it and get through it. But it was okay. If you've got some time on your hands between now and when we eventually come out of lockdown, it's definitely something to watch. Another Netflix original is Lunatics, which it's okay. It's done by Chris. Oh, I can't remember what his name is, but he did Jamais, Private Schoolgirl. So it's that kind of humour where it might not be totally politically correct. Some of his characters aren't really, but it's an okay watch. It kind of follows some people who are like outcasts in society, like a mockumentary base. All of his stuff is like mockumentary stuff. So yeah, there are some questionable bits in that though. But if you like Jamae, you might like that. A few shows that I'll lump together, which are like the IT Crowd, Derry Girls and The Job Lot. 3 British comedies. The Job Lot follows a comedy around a job centre, which I'm working HR, so it kind of relates to me on that. It's really good. It's got like Russell Tovey. It's got Stevie from Miranda. I don't know what the actual person's name is in it as well. So yeah, that's a good one to watch. Derry Girls, obviously I don't think I need to tell you what Derry Girls is, but that's always a good watch. And then the IT Crowd, which I only kind of finished last year. I hadn't really watched it before, which yeah, there's quite a lot of series on that. It's quite funny at points. And then one I haven't got into, and I don't really like the type of shows like Selling Sunsets, but a ridiculous version of that is Yummy Mummies, which follows there's 3 series, and it follows 3 Yummy Mummies. There's 2, like in the first 2 series there's 3, and then 2 of those follow into the 3rd series, but then there's a new character in the next. But it's like that Real Housewives kind of show. Follows 3 Yummy Mummies from Australia, and it goes around their daily life, but it's like exaggerated. They've got lots of money, they're spending lots of stuff. So that's kind of a very light-hearted thing to watch, and it's a bit ridiculous because I'm not really into those type of shows. And then last one, which they have cancelled, they're not bringing it back for next series, is AJ and the Queen. It is a bit long-winded at some points, you're like, why? We just watched half an hour of nothing. At some point, some episodes are a bit like that. There's a lot of filler episodes, but overall it was okay. But again, it is quite a lot of filler, so it was not top tier, but definitely one, if you like RuPaul, is a watch. And there's a lot of drag queens in it as well. So yeah, I hope that was interesting if you are first starting out watching Netflix. Tell me what you have got or watched down below, because I am always looking for new shows, because you know, lockdown stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys are well. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already, please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.